You ever get an idea that just sticks with you and you're like, this is the coolest idea ever. I gotta do something with this. And then 2 years pass. I don't really have good time management skills, I guess. So, this is a game I made with some friends. Soup's On is a third-person shooter cooking game that takes place in various spooky locations. You play as a magical servant who works in a food truck. They are tasked with preparing, cooking, and delivering delicious soup to customers as they show up to your somewhat famous truck throughout the night. In 2022, I discovered the 32-bit Game Jam. It was a 2-week jam where you would create a game that matched the aesthetics of games from the late 90s. Since then, I've been on and off again if I wanted to continue working on this project, and now I'm finally deciding to continue working on it. My end goal for this project is to remove bugs, add some needed features, add a few more levels, and give it an overall better presentation. With that said, let me show you a closer look at the game. Alright, so here is a little area I made to showcase some of the assets and stuff I made for the game. I'll start over here. This is, we call her Granny right now. She doesn't have a name, but she's basically the head witch. She's the person that created us and runs the soup truck. So she's the owner and CEO. Over here are some of the monster crops that you have to grow and just kill, I guess. So right now this is just a running animation, and as you can see, their mouth is just a 2D. It's basically just an animated image. Over here were some test animations and through a 3D model for scale. They're floating over the ground a bit, but don't worry about that. And then our last friend over here is Bruno. He basically is the garbage can. So if you're familiar with Overcooked, each level has a garbage can. He's basically that. But yeah, so you can give him any food you want and he'll just eat it. So for example, right here is a seed. I'll show you. If you go up to him, his mouth opens if you're holding it, right? But if I put it down right here and then I walk up, he's not interested at all. So if I open this, yay, he has a little tongue in there and everything. Then you give him and then he'll eat it. Right here are some trees that we had for the levels. This one's really big, right? But normally you wouldn't be able to see all the way up there because, well, maybe because you have there's a fog in the game, and I have it turned off right now. But so I can toggle it. I have a quick little setting. So this is basically the fog, how the fog would look in the game. It's just easier to work with it off. As you can see, yeah, there it is. Yeah, this thing looks menacing and creepy because I want it to look otherworldly. Yeah, I like how that came out too. Same with this one. So yeah, here are the different crops that you can make. Tomato, onion, corn. Those are the only ones we have right now. Of course, adding more wouldn't be too difficult. Just need to create all the art assets. So let me show you the tomatoes and how this works. Right here is the planting grounds, or the plotting farm, the farm ground, this thing. So how this works is you get a seed and then you plant it, and with the magic of editing, a crop will spawn, a crop monster. So this is the proper one. See, he's all twitchy because he's like animated in a sense. He's almost it's like a weird magic spell to rush the freshness of the tomatoes and all that. But he's not chasing me because there's no nav mesh on the ground. But when they spawn in, you just use your gun and just, yeah, that. Take your tomato, fresh tomato. You could feed this to Bruno too, see? But I'm not going to. Take it over here. You chop them up, and now they're ready to be put into the soup cauldron, which is all the way over here. And as you can see, these numbers and icons are basically the soup counter and what's needed for the soup. So for this one, the bone and the tomato, I have it set to 1. We just need 1. So if I go up and put a tomato in, boom, it's in there. So now we need some bones for our broth of the soup, which is over here. I set up this little area so that if I step in it, skeletons will spawn. You'll see why, because they make a lot of noise. But yeah, so skeleton shows up. He walks around because they won't spawn properly if they can't walk if there's no nav mesh. But if I kill this one, sometimes they don't drop a thing. So let's try again. There we go. So now I got some bones. Place them in here, and then once everything's ready, you hop in and you start stirring. And there you go. And then soup is made, which you give to the customers that show up. And this is a kind of like a demo of a customer. It doesn't work correctly right now, but he essentially does all the stuff. These 3 guys right here are the 3 potential customers that you can run into. Every time a customer spawns in, it will have a chance to be one of these 3 at random, which is just a fun little thing. And as you can see right here, this is our food truck. And if we go inside the food truck, there's no cauldron. It's kind of bland, but yeah, this is essentially how it works. Over here is the actual first mock-up of the truck. So what I did was I took this truck, made it in Unreal Engine, and then I brought it into Blender, where basically it's 1-to-1. Scale is exactly the same, and then I just modeled it to make it look good and make it look like a truck. I think that's it for now. Alright, thank you for watching, and yeah, stay tuned. Bye bye.